Hello again, third grade, and welcome to lesson 4-8. In this lesson, we're going to work on solving multiplication and division equations. Now, we're going to be looking at a couple different things, and one of the things is we're going to try and figure out equations that are equal to each other. So finding a multiplication equation where the product is the same as the quotient for a division equation. So we're going to work our way through that and go over our video lesson together so that we are able to understand what we're going to do and solve our problems. Let's go ahead and start with our video for this lesson. And then we will work on our notes and guided practice questions together as usual.
How do multiplication and division equations work? Think about this question during the lesson. The pan balance shows 35 divided by 7 equals 5. Remember, in an equation, the symbol equals means is equal to. It tells you the value on the left side is the same as the value on the right. How does the pan balance show that the two sides of the equation are equal?
So over here, let's stop and think. Think about the equation on the left side. We have 35 divided by 7. And on the right side, we have the number 5. So we have to solve. So we know that our pan balance here, our scale, shows that one side is equal to the other side. That's how they're both leveled or staying at the same place. Now, 35 divided by 7, I know that 7 times 5 equals 35. So 35 divided by 7 is going to equal 5. These two sides are equal to each other.
Both sides equal 5 and are balanced. If they weren't equal, one side would be up and the other down. These are other examples of equations. What makes these equations different from other equations you have seen before? The first equation has operations on both sides, multiplication or division. The other equation has an unknown on the left side. Frank has some tubes of tennis balls. Each tube has 4 tennis balls. Frank has 8 tennis balls in all. How many tubes of tennis balls does he have?
You can write an equation to represent the problem.
Which equation represents the problem?
Select your answer.
Some equations have symbols to represent unknowns. The question mark represents the number of tubes of tennis balls Frank has. A multiplication fact that matches this is 8 equals 2 times 4. The value of the question mark is 2. So the question mark equals 2. Could the question mark be any other number but 2? No, because no other number times 4 equals 8. Now you know how multiplication and division equations work.
All right, so now we took a look and saw how multiplication and division equations can be equal to each other by solving them and seeing if they have the same answer. Let's go ahead and take a look at our notes before we jump into our guided practice. So at the top, you're going to write 4-8, solve multiplication and division equations. And some of the things we need to think about are to remember that multiplication and division are inverse operations. That means they're opposites of each other. So use what you know from your basic facts, your fact families, and your related facts to find any missing values. So for this example, I asked you, is 8 times 2 equal to 4 times 4? How can you check? So first, we need to solve each side of the equation separately. So 8 times 2 is equal to 16. So I solved this portion right here. Now I need to do this side. 4 times 4 is also equal to 16. Then decide, are they equal to each other? So is 16 equal to 16? Yes, they're equal. So I know 8 times 2 is equal to 4 times 4. Now for this example, I asked you to find the missing factor. 7 times a number is equal to 63. So use your known facts or skip count by 7 until you find the missing number. You can also use the inverse operation of 63 divided by a number is equal to 7 to check your work. Now I know from my math facts that 7 times 9 is equal to 63. So 63 divided by 9 is equal to 7. And a third example to find either a missing part or to find an equivalence. For this one, we're finding a missing number. A number divided by 9 is equal to 4. So you can use the inverse operation and related facts to solve. So instead of thinking a number divided by 9 equals to 4, I can think 4 times 9 is equal to what number? Now I know that 4 times 9 is equal to 36. So these numbers are all part of the same fact family. So 4 times 9 is equal to 36. That means 36 divided by 9 is also going to be equal to 4. Now I'm going to share my screen with you one more time so we can read our guided practice questions. So our guided practice questions up here. The first one says, write an equation that represents the following problem. Walt makes some sandwiches. Each sandwich uses 2 slices of bread. He uses 16 slices of bread. How many sandwiches does Walt make? Use a question mark to represent the number of sandwiches. So we need to do a few things here. First, we need to figure out what we know. What information does the question give us? And then we need to see if we can use that information to solve the problem and figure out what we're being asked. So what do we know? We know he uses 2 slices of bread for each sandwich. You can annotate this in your book. We know that he has 16 slices in all. How many sandwiches can he make? So I know I need to do 16 divided into groups of 2 because each sandwich uses a top slice of bread and a bottom slice of bread. I can think what number times 2 is equal to 16. Now, because I know my math facts, I know that 8 times 2 is equal to 16. So that means 16 divided by 2 is 8. Now, you also need to remember to write down the answer. So if they asked you a question and they're asking you for a specific answer, write it down. Walt can make 8 sandwiches. Now our next question, they're asking us 9 times a number is equal to 27, and they want us to figure out what is that missing number. So you can either skip count by 9s, or you could use repeated subtraction. You can have 27 and take away groups of 9 to see what you get. So we can try that. We can try repeated subtraction. So 27 minus 9 is equal to 18. 18 minus 9 is equal to 9. We know 9 minus 9 is equal to 0. So I was able to do this 1, 2, 3 times. So 9 times 3 is going to give me 27. For this next question, 8 is equal to 40 divided by a number. So I want to find what number times 8 equals 40. I know that 5 times 8 equals 40 because I can skip count. So that means 40 divided by 5 is equal to 8. So I have both operations, the regular and the inverse, to help me figure it out. Now here I know that 32 is equal to something times 8. So 8 times what number is equal to 32? I can use my facts to see if I can figure it out. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 3 is 24. And then 8 times 4 is going to be 32. So over here, I know 32 is equal to 4 times 8. And I can write my facts in case I'm not sure. And I know I was able to do that 4 times. Now next, our last one says a number divided by 3 is equal to 6. So I'm going to use the inverse to help me figure this out. 6 times 3 is equal to what number? Now I know that if I skip count by 6s, I'm going to count 6, then 12, then 18. So that's 3 times. So 6 times 3 is equal to 18. So 6 times 1 is equal to 6. 6 times 2 is equal to 12. 6 times 3 is equal to 18. So that means 18 divided by 3 is equal to 6. That takes us to the end of our guided practice for this lesson. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.